and welcome to this second day of WEkEO monitoring land use. My name is Andrea Carvalho. I'm a training officer at Mercator Ocean International, and I'll be your host for today. Yesterday in our day one, we showed you what WEkEO is about. We showed you what sort of Copernicus and Sentinel satellite data you can find in WEkEO to study land and the different types of land, agricultural, and urban, so what sort of data we offer in WEkEO that can support urban resilience studies, agricultural and land change studies as well. So before we start, I'll give you a few guidelines so that we can make sure this session goes well. If you're already set up, that's good. But if you haven't seen, or if you are not able to hear us yet, it's because you haven't set up your audio. On your bottom left, you will see there's a join audio symbol. You just have to click it and activate it. Please use the chat on your right-hand side for small talk or for some sort of technical issues, questions you might have. However, if you want to ask any other questions directly to our speakers, please use the Q&A tab you will find at the top bar of your page, of this web page. And you will find the Q&A section there. It's very easy. Just write your questions directly to our speakers today. In the same section, you will find a poll, which we will activate at the end of this session. And we really appreciate your feedback on our sessions, on our webinars, and on the topics we bring to you. So don't hesitate to leave your feedback there at the end of the session. And now I'll introduce you to our speakers today. We will have, as I said, it's a practical session, so we'll show you a little bit more hands-on what you can do with WEkEO. We will have a little demonstration on the viewer, the WEkEO viewer, by Alexandre Borres from Mercator Ocean International. And we will have a presentation from Ergan Fauché from Novelties. She will show you what you can do using Jupyter notebooks and Copernicus and Sentinel data. Unfortunately, we won't have Daria with us today. She would have presented the QGIS exercise, but Ergan will give us a little glimpse of what you can find as well as a material, as an exercise for QGIS software. And all these materials and replays, also the replay of yesterday's session, will all be available in the page of the event. So you will be able to practice on your own and rewatch this whole webinar. And now I will give the floor to our first speaker, Alexandre Borres. Is gonna present you the viewer.
Yes, hello Andrea, hello to everyone. So let's share my screen. Up. Is everything perfect?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So hello everyone, I'm Alexandre from the WEkEO user support, and today we will talk about the WEkEO viewer. So let's meet on the first page, wekeo.eu. Here you can register with this button. Create a WEkEO account allow you to have access to many tools and more importantly to download data. So to register and to create an account is totally free. You just have to click on this button and complete this form. So we will meet now on the WEkEO data viewer. We will see how to search for data you're interested in. We will see how to subset and download data. And I will show you all the tools to familiarize yourself with the WEkEO data viewer. So let's click on the data button. Here we are on the WEkEO viewer. So if it's the first time you meet this page, you will have two layers displayed on the map. And if you want to search for a specific data, you can click on the plus button here. From there, you have on the right all the dataset available. You have a thumbnail that shows you the data that you will display. You have the name of the dataset and a quick description of the dataset. A new feature is that is this icon, this eye icon. If you can see this one, that will show you that this dataset can be viewed on the map. But for example, if you have something like this, we have 69 layers that can be displayed. So it's just a quick information that you will not can view this data directly on the map. On the left, you have all the filters. You have a search box. From there, you can search dataset with keywords, or you can use directly the dataset ID to search the data you want. Then you have many filters like the Copernicus services, the platform, the area, and many tags. And for today, we will choose a CLMS land dataset with the tag vegetation. So there we have now 8 datasets that match our filters. And we will choose for today the vegetation and phenology and productivity, which is a yearly dataset. And this is a UTM projection. So you have 2 buttons, one to add the layer on the map and one to see the details of this dataset. So here we have for some of dataset a use case. This show you what you can do with this data. This can give you some applications, and yeah, you can browse this this use case to see what you can do with this. Then you have the abstract and many information like the dataset ID, the Copernicus service, the area. You have access to the metadata, and you can contact people with all these context links. And here you have the geographical extent of the data available. And today we will add this dataset to our map. Here we have all the layers that we can add. So for each of them, you have to add it on the map. And today we will choose the total productivity season 1 layer. We will click to add to map. Then we close this window with the cross button, or you can click everywhere else outside the window. So here we have the layer that we added. You can show it or not on the map with the I button. So I will mask the 2 layers like this. You can zoom in and zoom out with your mouse scroll. Then you have a timescale at the bottom of your screen. Here it's a yearly dataset, so there is one data by year. So if I go to 2019, the values update themselves. Then you have at the bottom right many tools like the locate button that allow you to place a point on the map. This gives you the coordinates of this point. Then you have the measure tool to draw a line and get the distance between as many points as you want. You can press escape to exit the tool like this. And then you have the set UI tool that allow you to draw a bounding box on the map. This will be useful if you want to subset your data for the next step. This will download data only in the bounding box you draw. So I keep this bounding box here. And then you have the setting button to show or not the base map or the coastline and reference features. You can change the units from kilometer to miles, and same for the area. And you have the WEkEO credits. And now I will talk about the button that you can see for each of the layer. I will talk about those of seawater velocity because there is more buttons. So I will show you more things. So there, this dataset, you can see one first thing is that you have a depth scale at the bottom right to display the data at the depth you want. So for today, I will put it like this. So first button is to subset and download the data. So you click on it just after. The information button to go on this page, the page we see before with the abstract and many informations. You have the layer button to change the layer display on the map so you can have access to the other variables for this dataset. Then you have the setting button to change the opacity of the layer. This can be useful if you want to compare two datasets or you want to overlap the values. You can change the opacity. And you can change the color map. So if you want something more explicit, if the default one is not the best, you can change right here. And you can change the value to logarithmic values with this button. And you have the vector button to display the vectors. This, as I said, have a vector button, but some of them don't have. And the resolution of the vectors adapt with the zoom. So the more you zoom, the more the resolution is. And now we will see how to download the data. So let's go back on the total productivity dataset. Let's click on download. So as I said at the beginning, if you want to download data, you will have to connect to your WEkEO account. If you don't have one, it's free and you can click on create an account at the bottom right here. So let's connect like this. So here we have all the parameters to create our download. So let's just zoom on the bounding box. So the bounding box can be created manually by entering all the coordinates for each pose, but you can copy the AI we drew on the map before by clicking on this button. So this will allow you to download data on this bounding box. Then you can enter the temporal interval to search. You can enter it manually, or you can choose a date from the calendar, or you can copy the date you select at the bottom, like here, the start of the year, like this. And if you want to, as I said, it's a yearly dataset, so let's choose a date 2020, copy from layer. So there we have two dates from where we want to download data. And we have more parameters, but these parameters are not mandatory. If I want to show you, mandatory parameters have a red asterisk at their right. So for this dataset, nothing is mandatory. So if you want to download everything, you can put nothing and request your data. So for today, we will choose only these parameters. Then you have two buttons, one to show the API request, like this. So the API request can be useful if you want to, for example, automate your data, download a lot of data. You can copy this API request and use our HDA API client. You can have many information in our article on what is the HDA API client and how to use it. In this article, you will see how to use your query you create on our viewer and how to request your data and then how to download the data you search in your local directory. So this article is available on our Help Center. You can access our Help Center from the WEkEO homepage by clicking on the support button. And there you have the Help Center. So if you want, you can browse the Help Center. If you have a question, maybe first take a look at the Help Center. Maybe you will find the information you want. And if you still have questions, you can contact us by the widget at the bottom right and send us a message. And if you want, you can also send us a message via the support interface and here create your message. So let's get back to the API request. The API request can also be used to share your requests with us if you encounter some issues. So we can reproduce your issues with your API request, and then we can investigate your problem. So keep in mind that the API request exists and that you have the HDAPI client to automate to do things with your downloads. Let's get back to the downloads. Just let me recreate the request like this. So now we will request our data. Let's click on this. Now the request is successfully, and you can create a new request or monitor your request. Monitor request will bring us to the jobs tab. So let's click on this. And from there, you have the request you have made. You have the date at which you made the request, the hour, and the status of the request, which is now completed. But if you make a more important request, the status can be running for several minutes. If it take too longer, it may be due to an issue, so don't hesitate to contact us. You have a button to show the API request. This can be useful if you want to remember what request you made, because in the jobs tab you have the history of your requests. So here we can see that we draw a bounding box with the states, etc. So you can see what request you made. And here we have the folder icon to show all the results we can download for this request. You have 12 results, and for each of them we can order the request. So you can click on each of them and download with this button locally on your computer, like this. We don't have, oh, it's in me out, so let's just sign in. You don't have a button to download all the data at once, so that's why THG API client can be a solution for you. If you have a large request, you can download all of them with one command line. So if you are interested, you can use it. And that's it. Yeah, I think I said what I want. So you have the widget at the bottom right. If you have some questions or issues, click on message and we will be glad to answer all of them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Alexandre. That was very
You're
nice.
welcome. Thank you.
We do have a few questions for you already.
Yeah.
The first one, so if you, you will have to, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know if you're aware of this difference.
Yeah, I have the question with some users. Season 1, Season 2, so it's just a difference that made the provider with their data, because it's there is 2 seasons of growing in harvest and in agriculture. So they split the data in 2 seasons. You can access the manual of the data to the provider site, which is CLMS. You will find a solution, but don't hesitate to contact me directly on WEkEO. I will answer more precisely.
And next one, all these products are available for global region. And if we want to download the product, is it possible to download the vector data as well?
I think if you want to download the data, you will have to download everything. And once you have your files, you will have access to the vector data. I don't think you can split your download before this step. I don't know if
Okay. Yeah,
he was
directly on the
question.
viewer,
Yeah. I
select
think you can
only the.
just select the vector data.
Okay. Oh, my screen is going. Sorry. Oh, more like a general question. Yes, the presentations are going to be available maybe today, the one of yesterday, maybe today. Yeah, the one of today, maybe next week, but we will make them available as soon as possible. This one. And if I want to request by API, is it possible to run in Python software, or is it only possible to run it in WEkEO Jupyter Hub and the data we need to run this code?
No, it's possible to run it locally in Python. It's just that WEkEO Jupyter have an environment where all the packages are already installed, but it's the HDA Python client can be installed with a pipe. So yeah, you can create your local environment and use the HDA API. So WEkEO Jupyter is not mandatory.
Yeah. Do we already have maybe an article explaining
Yeah,
how
I
helps
think
you?
we have in our HDA article. I think we suggest you don't to use the WEkEO Jupyter Hub, but I think we propose to install it locally.
Okay.
But yeah, contact me if you encounter issues or have questions.
Okay. So more in your opinion, if I was planning on starting a project in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, what would you recommend?
Um, I don't know what you're looking for, but you can, I think, search for data that are available in your country. Uh, and I don't know, I think there is many possibilities.
Mm.
All depends on what data you are looking for.
Yes, I agree. I don't know if you would be able to answer
Yeah,
this because
I see it.
it's a bit specific,
Um,
but yeah. Why are there many data sets not visible? Specifically.
WEkEO, yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
WEkEO work with many providers, and we just not just, but we globalize all the data on WEkEO, and it's sometimes hard to display the data we receive from providers on our viewer. So some data are more easily integrable on the
Yeah,
viewer,
yeah.
and some of them we just can't display them. I think the the more important data sets are viewable, and if they are not, yeah, maybe later. We don't know.
Is it a matter of format, or sometimes they're just too?
Yeah, format. Yeah, I think yeah.
Mm. They're still accessible. It's just not
Yeah,
visible,
not
right?
viewable, but downloadable. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Great. Uh, so is this product available only daily, on a daily basis, or daily data set?
Yeah,
We have
I think
monthly or year.
the one I choose is a yearly data set, but if uh, if I remember, we have a data set for the features I choose, and there is a monthly and a daily, if I remember correctly. So yeah, just for the presentation that I show yearly, but I think you will find the daily data set.
Another one. What is the logarithm function for while clicking?
Yeah, it's just to transform
Yeah, option.
the values from, I don't remember, but from 1 to 0 to, yeah, 0, what, voilà, yeah, 0 to maybe 2, but you can transform it to logarithm, so it goes from 1 to 0, just to change the scale. It can be useful
To see
just,
certain variables, you kind of need to change
yeah,
your scale, right, to be a little
yeah.
bit more visible.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. And another one. Could you tell what is the product identifier when we set the parameters to download for downloading?
If I understand correctly, for this data set, the product ID can be found here, dataset ID.
Sorry,
Um,
I think so.
yeah, and you can also find it there with the API request. You have dataset ID that enter automatically there. What I recommend is to create your request on the WEkEO viewer, because this will create the format of the request which is appropriate to the HDA API. So if you want to, for example, add the product identifier, and this will format your parameters into this cell, so you will avoid many errors. And yeah, for your answer, the dataset ID is here or in the API request.
And the last question. So I think it's the same person who has asked before about the
Yeah.
now,
The land
I don't know
change.
if the product you showed, if we have any data on West Africa, for example.
This one, which I choose, is an European,
Right. Yeah.
so I think this one might not be useful, but yeah, I'm not aware of all the datasets.
Sure.
Yeah, just browse our catalog, choose an area where you, maybe a global area, and filter about what you're looking for, maybe use tags. If you're talking about land change, maybe choose a land dataset, and I think you will find
Explore. Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
really invite you to explore the catalog.
Yeah,
We don't know from the top of our head from every region, but
yeah,
really
exactly.
exploring. If you don't find a data set that you're looking for, or a region,
Yeah,
maybe you can contact us and we can also
yeah, contact us.
direct you. Okay. And that's all questions
All
for
right,
today. Thank you
perfect.
very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. And so now we will have our second speaker, so our second practical session of the day. We will have Ariane Fouché from Novelties. She will introduce you to a very nice exercise using Jupyter Notebook. The floor is yours, Ariane. Hi.
Thank you, Andrea. Hi, everyone. So my name is Ariane Fouché. I'm an ocean engineer at Noveltis. And so I will present you the Jupyter Notebook and the QGIS exercise as well on behalf of my colleagues from Noveltis, so Daria and Alexandre. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so as I said, we at Noveltis have developed two types of exercises for you to monitor vegetation and urban studies. So we have Jupyter Notebooks and QGIS. You can find these two exercises on the event webpage. So starting with the Jupyter Notebook, I'm going to present you the one of two exercises we developed as a Jupyter Notebook. So I'm going to present you the vegetation studies, again, on behalf of my colleague Alexandre. What you have to know is that there is a whole video, complete video in which Alexandre presents how to go through the notebook. What I'm going to present you today is just the main results and well, how to access the data. So first, the first thing to know is that you have to register to the WEkEO. And then, as Alexandre from the last presentation said, you can either work in your own environment and download the Jupyter Notebook, or you can access it through the Jupyter Hub, the WEkEO Jupyter Hub. So if you click here, if you try to access this through the Jupyter Hub, you will reach this page, and then you have to go to public here, WEkEO for Synergy, training land use monitoring. And so, as I said, we developed two exercises, one for urban and one for vegetation. And today I'm presenting you the results of the vegetation. So here is the Jupyter Notebook. If you're not familiar with notebooks, it's basically texts and Python code. And in this exercise, we use the Python code to monitor the land cover and agricultural crops in Alsace, which is a French region which produces excellent wine. So the products that we are using in this exercise, we are using three products. So the first two are the current land cover, which classifies the type of land depending on the regions. And we're using as well the vegetation, phenology, and productivity. So these are two products that you can retrieve from the WEkEO portal. So I'm going to not present you the code, but just the main results and the main figures that we plot. So here is the type of land of the Alsace region. So you have artificial land, agricultural land, forest, wetlands, and waters. So this map has been plotted from the current land cover. Then we present you the phenology datasets. So the phenology datasets contains many different variables. And the one we're using in this exercise is the length of a season. So it's basically the duration when the vegetation has leaves. So what we're doing in this exercise is that we're comparing, well, for 3 years, the duration of the leaf season. That's what we are doing. And so this is one of the main results we do is, and we see that in 2020 here, the season lasted for fruit trees. It lasted from March to August. And what we can see is that in 2021, the season was much longer. So what we're trying to explain next is why the 2021 season was longer than the other ones. And to do so, we use a third product from WEkEO as well, which contains the temperature and the precipitation data. And in this last plot, we display the season and the duration of the season in the background, so that the green colors. And we overlay the temperature in orange and precipitation in blue anomalies. And so what we can see from this figure is that the 2020 season was rather short because of the lack of precipitation, whereas the 2021 season was longer, probably because of the precipitation excess. So that's the kind of analysis that you can do thanks to the WEkEO data and thanks to the Jupyter Hub resources. So that's it for my first short presentation on the Jupyter Hub and Jupyter Notebook.
Thank you,
Do you
Helgen.
have any question?
Yes, I think there is at least one question.
Okay, great.
Trying to find it. So yes, as Gan said, you can find these exercises, so you will be able to practice on your own. So the first one, can you explain how to add these Jupyter libraries to our computer? If you can.
Maybe Alexandre can? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alexandre Boris, you're still here. And you would have something to say on that. Maybe it's not here.
Well, if he's not here, we are using very basic libraries. If I can, I don't know if I can show my screen anyway, but it's like NumPy, XArray, Matplotlib, etc. So these are libraries that are not complicated to install. Otherwise, I think we provide or WEkEO provides a file that contains the whole environment you need to go through the exercises. So
yes, I think we have. I mean, I think we Alexandre mentioned before we have some sort of also article explaining how to do it. So we can share it with you in the help center section of the events page. We can share it with you there. Thank you. And then the second one. In the WEkEO plan comparison, I see a line, no cost for traffic in and out. Does it mean that on free plan, the price depends on the volume of data downloaded? Okay, that's more for me, I think. So yes, you do have a limit on also the data that you can, if I'm not sure. Alexandra, are you there? Maybe you will know it better. You represent the user support. Alexandra? No, he's not. So I'm not sure about the data you can download. There's definitely a limit for if you would like to use computing resources, that's definitely paid. To access the Jupyter Hub, you can access it for free. I'm not sure about the data you can download or store it there. But to download data through WEkEO is also free. And as far as I know, there's no limit on the data you can download directly from WEkEO. So only basically to use the resources we provide, the computing resources, the Jupyter Hub space, if that's clear. Next one, let's see if this is for you or more general. Which one should I use, R programming or machine learning, while trying to access WEkEO Jupyter Hub?
I think for the exercises we're doing now, the R programming is enough. You don't need the machine learning capacities.
Okay.
That's what I use. I use the R programming on the Jupyter Hub.
And this one did.
Yes, for the path to the Jupyter notebook, I'm sorry, I was quite quick on this. So it's public, then WEkEO for Synergy, and then training land use, and you have the urban and vegetation folders.
Exactly. Maybe we can also share it in the steps,
yes,
maybe on the guidelines.
And in the video as well, it's presented.
Yeah, I guess Alexandra already included it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you will find the full demonstration online. So, what is the environment needed to add the vegetation phenology? The environment.
I think it's the same as for the other variables. As I said, the environment provided by WEkEO contains everything you need to process either the vegetation phenology or any other variable.
Yeah, it's already pre-prepared for you to use it, right? With WEkEO data. So okay, you wouldn't have to add anything extra or something. Okay, I think.
And the link to the notebook, you can find it on the event webpage. On the top, you have a Jupyter Notebooks section, and then you will be able to access either the link to download the Jupyter Notebook or the link to access the Jupyter Hub.
Exactly. We can share it on the chat maybe with you directly if you would like. Great. I think that's all Jupyter Notebook. And now whenever you want. So Ergan will show us a little glimpse of what you can find in terms of the QGIS exercise. So don't hesitate to explore it online later on. So whenever you want.
Yes, so I'm sharing my screen again. So just like we had the Jupyter Notebook section here, we also have the QGIS section just here. Again, there is a whole video that explains everything you need to, that explains, well, the whole process of the exercise. And besides the video, you also have the tutorial. So if you click here, you have a PDF there, which will show you really step by step how to download the files, how to download the plugin, etc. So how to use QGIS. It's a very detailed tutorial. So you will also need, if you want to do this exercise, you will also need to download the QGIS software. So on the event web page, you have the link to download the software. And most of all, what you will need is the NetCDF plugin. So this is a very useful, very useful tool for QGIS. It enables to use NetCDF files within QGIS. So here you have the link to download the plugin, and in the tutorial, the PDF tutorial, you also have the explanations to install the plugin. So that's it. So in this exercise, we focus on cities and air pollution in cities and in Italian cities especially. So this is how the...
Has any code been developed within the Jupyter Hub too?
I'm sorry, Andrea?
Sorry. My mic on.
Okay. And so we plot the map of nitrogen in June 2021, and so we go through a lot of, well, some process, and in the end we're able to plot this map, which is the nitrate concentration in each Italian cities in June 2021. So that's the first result we have from this exercise. And in the second part, we compare the urban density, which is the map on the left here. And we compare this map to the temperatures, again, in June 2021. And so we can see the patterns. And so this is the city of Florence. And so we can see that it's both a hot and dense city. So that's all I'm going to present you for this exercise. But again, you have both the video and the PDF tutorial that will lead you through the exercise, and you shall not have any problem doing this. So if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer.
Yes, thank you, Ergan. Yes, there is one question about the QGIS version needed for this exercise. Is it dependent on the QGIS version of the software, or can we use any version?
I'm not sure at all. I think the link in the event webpage will direct you to the version you need. But if you have any problem, either downloading QGIS or the plugin, contact the user support, and they will help you.
Yes, indeed. You can always contact us. Then it's a more specific question. You might also need to contact the user support directly for this. And I don't know if you're aware of this. Has any code been developed within the Jupyter Hub to discriminate noisy pixels using the QFlag product? It's quite specific.
Yeah, I don't know if the question is if you're asking us how to flag the products, how to flag the noisy pixels, or if we have done it in any notebook, we have not done it in the exercise, but we have, well, we show how to filter the data. So not with the Q flag, the quality flag, but with some other variables that are like time or location. And so you'll be able, if you follow the Jupyter notebook, you'll be able to learn how to flag your data. So you should not encounter any problem.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. I think in terms of the tutorial, that is all for the questions. There's one last question about the
Yes.
PDF tutorial. Yes, we can share the link directly with you, as Erkan showed you. You can access it through the page of the events, and we can also share it in on the chat, the direct link to the tutorial that you are able to download. And you will also find the guidelines. Again, showed you how to install everything you need to start your QGIS practice. Thank you very much, again, for
Thank you, Andrea.
tutorials. And thank you, everyone. This was a very short demonstration of the viewer and of some of the exercises you can perform using WEkEO data. We really appreciate your feedback on our tutorials and on the topics we bring to you through our workshops. So please, if you could access the poll section in the Q&A page, you will find a poll section that we would really love to have your feedback. And thank you very much. You will also find all the replays and a certificate of participation available very soon. And yes, if you have any questions, please contact us. Please contact user support. And thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you, everyone who has presented today.